Welcome to the Teqa Stats demonstration video. This application performs statistics for proficiency testing and produces reports. In the home page, select the desired area, EQA, and round. On the left side, you may view the samples and the analytes of the current round. The central panel is subdivided in 6 tabs, representing the sequential operations required to generate statistical reports. On the first panel, you may determine the source of your data and the type of reports to be issued. The data may come from the selected EQA only, or you may merge it with all EQAs using the same samples. You may also merge it with selected EQAs. Finally, you shall decide from which date the data should be included. The next step consists in selecting the statistics and reports to be created. You may apply the selected combinations separately for each analyte, or copy them to all analytes in one operation. On the next tab, we will determine the source of the target value and the deviation according to the options required by the ISO recommendations. You may apply them separately and differently for each analyte, or just copy the current row to all others. The Special Cases tab allows you to automatically deal with particular situations. Should you have very few results, you may lower the minimum number of requested laboratories and still generate statistics, keeping in mind that the significance of the statistic may be affected. The software favors algorithm A to calculate the deviation. However, for its intrinsic mathematical nature, it may not be always applied. Should it be the case, you may ask the software to use either the interquartile range or the non-recursive standard deviation algorithms as an alternative. If the uncertainty is larger than 0.3 sigma, you may ask the software to calculate z-prime scores instead of plain z-scores. We have concluded the configuration phase, and the software will now take care of the rest. Switch to the Available Reports tab. It may take several seconds to run the calculations. The upper panel displays the available statistics according to your requests. For each analyte and sample, the grid displays the number of statistics that may be generated for each combination of instrument, method, and reagent. The lower panel displays the details about the statistics that may be generated and, alternatively, the ones that may not be generated, explaining why. All the statistics have been calculated by now, but of course, you would want to have an analytical view. Press on the Data Screening tab. A distribution diagram is displayed for each analyte and sample. By clicking on the graphics, you may see the single results related to the laboratories. A detailed analysis is displayed below the graphics, including the number of the results in laboratories, the assigned value, permissible deviation, and their provenience, the uncertainty, and 2 normality tests outcomes. You may navigate by selecting analytes in the list box or going back and forth with the buttons. The reports also contain interpretative or contextual information that is not known by the software. The EQA provider may prepare a separate PDF document and then merge it with the Teqa report by pressing Add Header and selecting a file. Once you are satisfied with the statistical results, you may save the configuration. This means that the next time you will select the same EQA and round, the software will preset all your selections. Now we are finished with the report creations. However, the laboratories will not be able to receive it unless you give a formal approval. To do so, select May Generate Report and newly save the configuration. The reports will now be immediately available on the lab's web interface of the laboratories. And finally, in the tab Generate Lab Reports, you may select any of the laboratories and view a copy of the report. You may also generate an auditing report for your own records containing the description of the configuration. For a complete description of the features, please refer to the manual.